Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. SGEORGE welcomes you all. Today is lesson number 6, class 8. This is the workbook of lesson number 8. Today we will discuss the workbook. We will also bring the explanation of this chapter. Don't worry, we will soon bring the explanation of this chapters. So let's begin with our workbook. It is very easy. If I will help you with the explanation, you can yourself do the workbook, but it's okay. Now we'll start our workbook. I know many of you will not able to understand the chapter. Many of you not get what the chapter is, but with my experience I tell you all that if you learn the question answers, if you try to learn the question answers, you will be very clear with the each and every concept of the chapter. So don't worry, let's go. Until which century was the Indian economically prosperous? India economically prosperous. Economically prosperous means until which century we were the rich kids. मतलब हमारे पास जो पैसे थे अपने बाप दादाओं के, जो पुराने ज़माने वाले पैसे थे, तो वो किस सेंचुरी तक थे? तो वो थे हमारे 18th सेंचुरी तक. Option number C. In which year did a devastating famine attack Bengal? In the year 1717 CE, and CE stand for Central Era. Which Indian state did the devastating famine attack in the year 1717 CE, and that was our Bengal. Please guys note, there are 3 of them in the options: Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. You will be very confused and you will be thinking that यार सर ने तो बताया था तीनों तीन होंगे. No one taught you about that. It is only and only Bengal who experiences a devastating famine. And I also tell you about the famine. Famine means जो भूखमरी आ जाती है ना, खाना पीना की कमी हो जाती है ना, that is called the famine. Which governor enforced the Permanent Settlement Act, and the governor was Lord Cornwallis, during whose tenure there was the right of revenue collection given to the collectors, and that was during the time of Lord Cornwallis. Lord Cornwallis is a very famous person. 110% you will be having one answer about the Lord Cornwallis in your exam. Which Governor General became popular by introducing some beneficial reformations? मतलब कौन सा ऐसा गवर्नर था जो फेमस हो गए थे, जिसने अपना नाम फेमस कर लिया था थोड़ी बहुत पॉलिटिकल रिफॉर्मर्स निकाल के? तो that was William Bentinck. William Bentinck. This is a very good name. I like this type of intelligence. I like this type of pronunciations and this type of very good names. Who enforced the law banning the evil practice of sati? That was William Bentinck who enforced the law banning of sati, and that was the Indian, that was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who told him that please do something for India. When was the law banning of evil practice of sati enforced? And it was in 1829 CE, and CE again I tell you the CE stand for Central Era. These are the MCQs, the very important, that when was the sati banning practice and it was enforced, and it was in 1829 CE. Who started English education in India? That was one and only the Lord Wellesley. Very good name. When did the thought of starting English education in India came to Macaulay? Macaulay is not my friend. He is the Lord Macaulay. He was a ruler in India once a time. So he thought that Indians should have been taught English. So I told him, why sir? What's the problem? So he said, if we will taught the Indians the English language, so we will able to exploit them. Well, sir, how? He said that we will provide them an administration job, and we will take their help, and we have to not call that people from outside England to become our administration in India. So अब हमारा काम भी हो जाएगा और ये लोग पढ़ाई भी कर लेंगे. दैट मीन्स सांप भी मर गया, लाठी भी टूट गई. एंड दैट वाज इन द ईयर 1834 व्हेन वर द फर्स्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन इंडिया. तो इन 1857 द यूनिवर्सिटी मीन्स वेयर वी कैन स्टडी. मतलब सबको पता होगा भैया सर, दैट इज़ द कॉमन थिंग. भाई यूनिवर्सिटी मीन्स क्या? Dash prosperity of India was sustained until the 18th century, and that is our one and only economic prosperity, and this is also MCQ number 1. The British increased their income due to the Dash rule, that is Diwani rule, and Diwani rule means right to collect the revenue, which gives them rights to collect the revenue from the Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. At the time of British rule, many peasants became economically poor due to the interest rate of the landlords, which was very high. Landlords means the zamindar, we call in Hindi zamindar, and interest rate means कर्ज वसूल करना. Like the government is taking tax from us na. Nowadays the tax are very common or very cheap, but before the time of independence, when the Britishers were there, they were charging highly. मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा लूट के खून पसीना बहाने वालों को तो मार के उनके ऐसा कर्ज वसूल किया जाता था, और उसकी वजह से हम गरीब हो गए. गवर्नर कॉर्नवालिस enforced the Permanent Settlement Act for revenue collections. So who enforced the Permanent Settlement Act? And that was Governor Cornwallis. During the Lord Cornwallis tenure, Dash had to collect the revenue and perform the function of the judge. The electors, yes, it is correct only. The electors had to collect the revenue. The British system destroyed our ancient system of village self-rule, which was handled by the Gram Panchayat. And this village self-rule means अगर किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो गांव में ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर देंगे. ऐसा नहीं कि वो फिर आगे जाएगा, फिर वो और आगे जाएंगे, फिर वो हाई कोर्ट न सुप्रीम कोर्ट न, दैट ऑल नॉट देयर एट ऑल दैट टाइम. क्या तकलीफ है भैया? झगड़ा किया भाई, क्यों झगड़ा किया? बात पूरी. तो दैट वाज द विलेज सेल्फ रूल. Nowadays it is seen very less in our country. In ancient time, every village was like a small republic. Every village, yes, it is a very correct. Every village was living their own life. No one had to disturb them. An order was passed in Dash that every Indian had to salute the Dash. Then an order was passed in Agra that every Indian had to salute the British. Salam sir. I told that, why sir this? Because they are not respecting the Britishers. He told me that. So, and this was also that if you not salute the British officers, you will be liable to the punishment and you will be sent to a jail. That was very much strict rule that was time. Dash enforced the law to stop practice of sati. One and only William Bentinck, and with the help of social reformer Mr. Raja Ram Mohan Roy. In 1834, Macaulay introduced English education in India. In which year? 1834. Who introduced? Macaulay. What introduced? The English education. मतलब हम गंवारों को हमको और भी इंटेलिजेंट बनाने के लिए, मतलब हमको और एक भाषा सिखाने के लिए the Lord Macaulay in 1834 launched started the English language in India. The reformers made by the British rulers were for the Dash only, were for the benefit. No one in this world do without any benefit. So The reforms made by the Britishers were only for the benefit of themselves. The reformers made by the British came as a blessing to Indians, because the reformers that British made, that were such a reforms that by God's grace we got them as a blessings. They started English, we started learning English, and that is very famous language and very helpful to us. They started railway system, and today the railway system is the very much developed in our country. They started postal and telegraph, and at the most level India is using postal and telegraph. They banned sati system, and this sati system, the banning of sati system was very good, and today we are living an independent and a very good life. So they started for their benefit, but because of God grace and as a God blessings, we are enjoying their every social reforms. Put the tick mark, matlab true or false. The devastating famine attacked in the Bihar in the year 1770 CE. I told you before that was not Bihar, that was in Bengal. Many of the students just read that 1770 CE. Oh, it's true. No, don't do that type of mistakes. Give your mind 1 or 2 seconds or 10 seconds to recall the answer. Governor William Banchek enforced the Permanent Settlement Act for revenue collection. No, that he was not. That was Lord Cornwallis. The collector who collected the revenue also performed the function of the judge. Yes, true answer. The fine and the soft Dhaka Muslim was much in demand all over the world during the ancient times. Absolutely wrong answer. Our spices that were in great demand during the ancient India. The British policy of social reforms made people feel insecure. Yes, true. The people were very tensed because of all this nonsense activity. We have to salute the British. Why we should salute anyone? We will salute where the salute is respectable, where the salute is, मतलब अगर वो पर्सन उस सैल्यूट के लायक है तो हम उसे सैल्यूट करेंगे. Not everyone we will salute. Mahatma Gandhi called English education as the Swarajya education. No, this is wrong. People of India came closer to one another due to the newspaper, post, telegraph and the railways. Yes, very true, very true. And nowadays people come closer and closer because of WhatsApp and Facebook. Last question number 4. This is the part 1. Part B also will be coming very soon. Cornwallis. So what did Cornwallis do? Enforce the Permanent Settlement Act. Option number 3. Macaulay. So what did Macaulay do? So Macaulay started English education in India. William Banchek. So what did William Banchek do? So William Banchek banned the practice of sati. Gandhiji, English education is the education of slavery. Very easy chapter. I enjoyed this chapter very much. I like this type of history. My history is my favorite subject. So now we will having more and more videos on the history and SST. So keep enjoying. If you have any problem, please ask me in the comment box. Thank you for being with us, George.